Kaboom Test Labs presents another issue of Nerds with Issues with your hosts, Doughboy
Admiral Duke.
and
B-Walk.
B-Wizzle. What's going on, fellas?
Not much.
Not much.
Issue 11, we are over the 10 threshold there.
Double digits.
I'm digging it.
Feels good.
It feels good.
As a
Sorry.
matter of fact, it does feel good to be a gangster. I wasn't sure. About that. And now I'm positive.
Wow.
That's very nice.
We've been
Evidently.
talking about Ghetto Boys just a little too much tonight, and I'm kind of liking it.
It's funny. It's been kind of an old school hip hop night.
I feel like every
I
night's
wonder
an
why
old school
that
hip hop
is.
night for me. That's different. Like
So we got tons of stuff going on. Tons of stuff we're going to talk about. Everything from a midnight release.
What?
Yeah, we got a midnight release coming
Oh,
up.
that's right. We do have a midnight release.
We're
I
gonna
might
be-
know something about that.
We're going to be talking about that. We're going to
hope
be
you
going
do, 'cause I sure
over.
as heck don't.
We'll go over a few movie news things.
There's some interesting movie news
We
this week.
posted up some stuff on the Facebook.
Yes,
that's,
we did.
There's a lot
that's
of-
looking good.
there's a lot of news this week. That's for sure.
That's true.
I'm down. Let's start it off with our picks for the week.
Yes.
I guess I'll roll first with my pick of the week this week. I just feel like I do the same books all the time, but it's
I
hard
had the
not
same
to.
dilemma this
But
week.
I had the exact same dilemma as well. I wanted to go with something different that I haven't talked about before, but I can't do it in good conscience because it's that good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it again. All new X-Men. I've been talking about it since it started. This is issue number 9.
Is it a book that you are not glad that you actually picked up?
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
dude, I absolutely love it, and it's just, it. I don't know. I guess it's with the whole old X-Men coming to be with the new, and the way this one ends. I'm not gonna say, but I was angry. I closed it and I was pissed. I was like, because
But in a good way.
yeah, in a
Yes.
good way, excited for the
You're-
next one.
Yes.
But like, I wanted to punch somebody in the face.
and
So
you're
that's
supposed to
never
want to
good.
punch that somebody in the
Yes,
face.
you're
They're getting the
absolutely
job
right.
done.
Oh, yeah.
But you're absolutely. That's the thing is they get the job done with this story. They make you hate the character you're supposed to hate, and with a passion for me,
Which is
like,
great because he now has a target on his face.
literally,
On purpose.
literally. Yeah. Spoiler alert. I'm not telling you who we're talking about, but it's just another really, really good
That
issue.
was a great line.
And you had Kitty Pryde basically in a training session with the younger
that was
X-Men.
awesome.
And there's a little bit of dialogue between her and Jean Grey going on in her mind, which is phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. This Jean Grey's got some serious attitude,
Straight
man.
up.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
even
yeah.
like the small exchanges with Little Iceman, Classic Iceman.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's even weird for her being like, all right, I'm training the guy I'm dating right now.
That's
Like,
so-
I'm sure that's awkward for her, and I got that from that. It's cool.
I know a lot about the X-Men world and the universe and everything, but the way that they've now mixed these two together just brings for a whole
yeah.
new storyline.
Oh yeah, a different dynamic, and it's really interesting to see the different versions of characters interact with each other.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. This has to be my favorite era of X-Men since Grant Morrison's run.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good
It is a
stuff.
lot of fun, and there's just so much that they can write about. There's so many different ways these stories can go, and I'm loving it so far. So for me, my pick of the week, all new X-Men, number 9.
Great call.
Just so you know, this week coming out is the trade paperback of all new X-Men leading up to number 9. So I believe it's 1 through 7, leading up
Right.
to 8. So pick it up if you want to get caught up if you haven't already.
Absolutely.
Admiral Duke, what is your pick of the week, sir?
You know, it's funny. I'm a little torn. I want to say Nova number 2 because it is that good. So if you've read Nova number 1, Nova number 2 is really fantastic. But it's not my pick of the week.
Okay.
My pick of the week is New Avengers
Okay.
number 4.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, it blew my mind because it's just continuing the storyline of this specific Earth. Basically, has 8 hours to live.
Yeah.
You know,
Basically.
and it's really it's all about alternate universes, and it's all about very sci-fi stuff that we've talked about this before. Seems like DC's forte more than Marvel's forte.
It comes off as a crisis book in the best way possible.
In the best way, it's like the best crisis book I've ever read, and it's like the stakes are
course.
higher, and it's like
And you got Steve Epting drawing it all. Steve Epting's art
yeah.
is so it's so
the
bold
art
and
is
epic.
the bold is absolutely right, and there's one panel one specific panel.
I feel like his art completely shows the gravity of the situation that is building.
Wow, there's one. I was actually mad at the way this story was laid out in just this one specific instance, because our Avengers team, which is kind of an Illuminati group that secretly runs the world, and they're trying to save their world, which is, you know, Doctor Strange and Reed Richards and kind of these classic Marvel characters that are this world's Avengers. And you know for a fact that it's not our Marvel universe. It's a parallel Marvel universe. And it's really crazy because they're trying to save their world, and they end up on another Earth, another alternate reality where stuff has happened quite differently. And a major national monument is changed to reflect that. The Statue of Liberty is the statue of something else in Avengers #4.
It's something to be. It's something you have to read to understand the level that this is on.
I wish that I'd flipped the page over and it was on the next page.
Yes.
But instead, you flip it over and it's on the page that's facing you. So I immediately saw what it was, and I threw my hand right over it because I didn't want to think about it. And I read the next page and got to it like it was a big reveal, because it should have been a big reveal, you know?
Yep.
Because it's like this unbelievable image. I don't want to give away what it is. It's really cool.
The entire 4 issues, and it has just blown my mind.
Yeah, I mean,
issue per issue. And that's the
absolutely.
thing. You get into one, and you're like, I don't think people understand how epic this book is until they actually dive into it. I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah.
Issue 1's like, oh, that was cool. And by the time you're into issue 2, you're just like, what is going on?
Well, what's funny is I loved issue 1, and I know a lot of people said, well, issue 1 was okay, but then you get to da. I feel as if New Avengers from the beginning was really awesome. It's just some really personal stories. You get a lot of backstory about how some of these characters don't want to be involved in what they're doing but they have to do it anyway. You know, and it's really, really cool. And my question about New Avengers #4 is where'd Captain America go?
Agreed.
Yeah, where'd he go?
Fell off the face of the book.
I mean, something happened to him at the end of 3, but I was just curious. You know, okay, what'd you guys? What'd you do with him?
We just left him in the closet. It's cool.
Interesting.
We'll be back in 8 hours. We'll see you, Cap.
All right, so Duke's pick of the week this week, New Avengers #4.
By Jonathan Hickman and Steve Epting.
And not giving away anything, Galactus shows up.
Well, he's on the cover. You're not.
Yeah. Can't really be giving anything
I would have
away.
been pretty pissed if Galactus hadn't shown up.
Yeah, because the way that cover is, and all those covers are very minimalistic, but that's Galactus's head.
All right. B Wizzle, Mr. B Walk, your pick of the week.
You know, it's hard to pick a book of the week when you have a week as good as this. Saga came out, and as much as I want to pick Saga, I'm actually going to go with Ultimate Spider-Man issue 21. And I have the same dilemma, man. I feel like I want to pick a book that's different, but I can't when it's as incredible as the series
I agree.
is issue per issue. God, I just want to say I love David Marquez's art. He's done a great job filling in. Sarah Pichelli was the artist that started off the first few issues, did Spider-Man, which was brilliant, and now she's finally starting to cycle back into the regular series.
Spider-Man, wow.
And she did it in a tremendous way.
Dude.
She's been doing it. But God, this issue, me and Admiral spoke of this. It's the way she draws Gwen and MJ both in this book,
and the fact that they're both in it, man. I opened that book and it opens up with an exchange between Gwen and Mary Jane, and I'm like, they're going to be in this whole issue. I was just like, yes!
It's the issue I've been waiting for as a longtime fan of Ultimate Spider-Man prior to Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And it was just, she's coming back in a big way, and it's just beautiful. But overall, the interactions with the characters, and Miles isn't in costume this entire issue. And
That's right.
And you don't even notice it.
I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice he wasn't in the suit the whole issue. It was that good.
Exactly. And I mean, you haven't caught up to the Venom story arc. I know, Doughboy, but
yeah,
maybe you're with me, maybe you're not. But my favorite character in the entire freaking book is Gank.
He is
the best character in the book.
Yes, but Bendis answered a question on Twitter. Somebody asked how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's Genki.
It's Genki.
Yeah. It is Genki. All right.
Yeah.
Sucks, man, because I thought Gank was cool, but Genki, I guess, is cool. But yeah, it's pronounced Genki.
I
so I've
figured it was
been
Genki.
reading it wrong this whole time.
Well,
Yeah, I hate when
because
that
I was
happens.
like,
I
why
feel like a
else is the
douchebag.
E there?
I thought maybe you put a Y at the end. Maybe it's a silent E.
Yeah, I figured it was Genki.
Genk just makes more sense for that character for some reason.
It really does.
Yeah, but isn't it his last name?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah,
Either
but
way,
I can see that being his nickname.
Genki, he is, in my opinion, the best. He's my favorite.
Oh, easy.
And you're only going to feel even more so when you read issue 20.
Oh, there's
Can't
the
wait.
thing is Miles, this whole issue feels very torn because he just saw his dad hurt really, really bad.
Right.
And so he's torn.
Miles is really pondering the concept of with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, big time.
He's feeling it in this arc.
Oh, he is so hurting in this issue.
All
But
right.
but Genki's keeping it real.
He really is, because there's a great interchange where basically Gwen and MJ are just dropping knowledge on Miles as to what this Venom monster is, and Miles is just like, oh my god, I just can't handle this right now, and it's Miles, Genki, MJ, and Gwen. And he's like, I can't handle this. And Gang's like, I don't know. I'm having a pretty good time.
So here's this 13-year-old kid macking on the older ladies. It's awesome. It's hilarious.
brilliant.
And you know what? That sounds like Genk.
Oh,
That
totally.
does.
Genki. Yeah, sorry, no disrespect to Bendis, but I'm always going to call him Genk. Okay, and your pick of the week is Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 21.
Issue number 21,
And
written by Brian Michael Bendis, art by Sarah Pacelli.
I just want to add,
I have to get caught up.
there's a little
I need to get you caught up.
There's
That's
a
kinda
little
my fault.
spot in the book where Maria Hill comes in, and she's a regular character.
Maria
in the
Hill has a
storyline.
great role in the Ultimate
Dude,
Universe.
she's awesome.
And that is a Bendis character he created in the mainstream Marvel Universe and is now taking over to the Ultimate Universe. And God, it's a great.
And correct me if I'm wrong. In the Ultimate Universe, she is a former Shield agent, right?
Yes, I
But
believe so.
but she is a homicide detective for the NYPD.
And it makes so much sense, man.
It's very cool.
I'll always love the Ultimate Universe.
All right.
Yes, I'm a fan.
It'll always be home.
All right. Well, sounds like we got our picks of the weeks going.
It really does.
We got some good stuff next week coming. I saw a few things. Obviously, Age of Ultron number 3.
Yeah, and then there's another book. What is it called? Oh, that's right.
that?
Guardians of the Galaxy
Guardians of the
*1.
Galaxy. So we got to
book
talk
everyone's
about
been-
this right now. This is big news
I
for
think
us.
we have to. Yeah.
Yes.
If Star-Lord could talk to us on this podcast right now, he'd say, I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Or would he
is.
say, I'm like a hoagie sandwich. I'm really good.
I'm really good.
It's going to be an interesting and a fun week. We haven't done a release like this since AVX, but Kaboom
That's right.
Test Labs is doing a midnight release for Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm
Number
extremely
1.
excited for.
Yes, and it's the middle of the week, and it's a good time to have a party, man.
Yeah.
you know.
Just come on by and hang out with us. I
Heck
think it's going to
yeah.
be cool. When are the festivities going to start? Let's give them the date. So Tuesday night is when everything starts.
Tuesday night, March 26th. The book comes out at 12:01 at Kaboom Test Labs. 12:01. The morning of Wednesday, March 27th. But
Right.
the festivities are going to start probably about 10:30, officially at 11. But we're going to be out there recording.
Yes.
We're going to do a little special NWI live show. Have a lot of people have expressed interest in being on the show, and
That should be interesting.
we'll be talking people up. Absolutely.
I think it's going to be fun. Come on out. We're going to be giving out prizes. Things will be cool.
Yeah.
It is Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're not there, you may not get your issue number 1.
That's a genuine possibility.
And why not go and hang out with us anyway?
Absolutely.
What else have you got going on Tuesday
Yeah.
night?
On a Tuesday
I know you
night.
ain't.
And here's the fun thing. Kaboom Test Labs also has a HeroClix tournament going that
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
A Magic tournament going that night. Just doing some wacky stuff because they're going to be open from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next morning.
Yeah, and come
That's
hang.
crazy. They're
You
gonna
can
be
buy
open
energy
all
drinks.
day long.
We got energy drinks for sale.
Caffeine.
Yeah. Got snacks, everything. It'll be a good time. Definitely
Yes.
come and hang out. We'll have
Yes.
fun. NWI is going to be there. I mean, that's pretty kick-ass. And
Very excited.
Guardians of the Galaxy #1. People,
Absolutely.
think about this. Why is this so huge right now? Oh, because it's Marvel's next big, huge movie as well.
That's because next summer we're all going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, and learn about it now, like I'm doing. If you
I'm
don't
getting
know
the feeling
about
they're
it.
gonna make this their Aquaman, if you know what I mean. Like the book that no one expected to like, and it's gonna.
So it's
I
going to be
think you're
good for
right.
like 10
I think-
issues, and then I'm going to not want to read it anymore. What are you telling me?
It's still solid.
Okay.
It's still solid. I mean, I know you're not reading DC.
I know
but
you're on this DC hating rant, and even without
Throne
Ivan
of
Reyes,
Atlantis was a great storyline.
really was,
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I can say. All right, so that's going down Tuesday night.
DC hater, man.
Now, Tuesday night, Guardians of the Galaxy. More so a Marvel supporter, and DC's not really my cup of tea. Mainly because I don't
the
like
guy with the Superman tattoo on his
well, no,
That is an excellent point.
it's
irony.
it's no longer my cup of tea, and mainly because I don't like giant pieces of shit in my cups of tea.
Wow.
So,
Wait, that's why you don't like the tea I make you? Why? You could have told me you didn't like it, all right?
but come on out and get Guardians of the Galaxy. Hang out with us. Obviously, we're crazy enough. You might want to come out and just chill with us.
Yes, and remember that we are going to be giving away some really fun Marvel prizes.
Absolutely.
We've got a few action figures we're going to give away.
We still have raffle tickets at the store.
We do.
That's going to be the easiest and
That's
best
how
way
we're
to
gonna do it.
Cool.
We have a copy of Guardians of the Galaxy Point 1 to give away, and also a copy of Nova #1 to give away.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean we've got some fun prizes. If you want some Marvel swag, we got it, homie. I can't believe I just
don't ever do that again. Jesus. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. I told you I was listening to the Ghetto Boys.
We're
Today.
just wow.
Was it just like Office Space when you were listening to it?
It
and then,
was.
And then you rolled up your window and locked the door when someone walked by?
I don't even know.
You were like, I'm way too white to be listening to this.
Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, did you hear the big news that Jean-Claude Van Damme he's vying for a role in Guardians of the Galaxy?
God.
It's not really specific, but I read that and I just laughed so hard I was going to cry.
If he wants to do Time Cop 2, I'm cool with it.
Dude, there is a Time Cop 2.
Oh, God, that's right. It was the Asian guy. Christ. If he wants to do Time Cop 3 and actually stick with the original story and be cool about things, I'd be down with it.
Oh,
but if he wants to be in Guardians of the Galaxy, no. We've already got a WWE star in there.
Right.
We don't need him.
Oh, man. But speaking of actors going into comic book movies that would actually be really, really cool, something broke just today that evidently Robert Redford could join the cast of Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a senior SHIELD guy, and I don't know. It sounds pretty cool. But Robert Redford in a Marvel movie,
Does that mean
weird?
When they say a senior SHIELD guy, do they mean a senior Nick Fury SHIELD guy?
Well,
Would that be cool?
I
strange.
think that'd be awesome.
Well, Marvel did a weird little series that wasn't read by very many people.
Not at all, but it was written by the awesome Chris Yost. Or is that Craig Kyle?
I don't
Jeez,
I don't remember,
I feel
but
like a jerk for not knowing.
Dude, Battle
It is
Scars.
Yost. No, it's
came out,
Yost.
And Battle Scars told the story of how, well, Nick Fury Sr. is actually the Caucasian Nick Fury that everybody knows from the classic Marvel stories, and Nick Fury Jr. is the African American Samuel L. Jackson type character. So it could be that.
It was a pretty interesting switcheroo, seeing as Samuel L. Jackson and Nick Fury started off in the Ultimates when Mark Millar and Hitch restarted that, and Marvel did a little interesting Jedi mind trick to try and sneak him into the Marvel universe.
Yeah. They
and I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled it with this film. I mean, heck, they have the Jedis on their side now. They're like, we bought Lucasfilm to trick you, to juke you.
Well, and the way they did it in the regular Marvel universe is they just they tried to make it so that the continuity made sense. So that Caucasian Nick Fury with the white hair and the cigars and everything is actually African American Nick Fury's dad.
That would be an interesting, weird setup, I guess.
And that's when M. Night jumps out and says, "What a twist!"
M. Night Shyamalan.
It's horrible.
Well, and a lot of people are talking about how Captain America: Winter Soldier is really going to open up the continuity of the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe, and basically you're going to see a lot more about what's really going on in the MCU, as they're calling it, through Captain America: Winter Soldier, which I'm excited about.
Okay.
You're going to see a lot more SHIELD agents. You're going to see a lot more Captain America. You're going to see people rise from the dead, but you know what I mean.
Well,
People who know that story know what I mean.
Let's get into movie news on some stuff that's going to be released a little sooner on those. When is Winter Soldier? Is that next summer?
Yeah.
Christmas? time.
I can't remember if it's Thor that comes out in the
Thor is in November. I know that for
Thor's in
certain.
November.
Okay.
Captain America's next summer.
I'm pretty excited for Thor. That's the thing. Is
The first Thor
Iron
was
Man
great.
3, but when I think about it, I'm like, crap. Thor 2 is gonna. It's gonna be the first Marvel movie of a character with a sequel with the same actor.
That's true.
And there's a
Whoa,
lot of
wow,
great
that's
movies
true.
coming this summer,
Yeah.
both superhero movies and, you got everything from Star Trek all the way to what? Freaking Iron Man 3 and then Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, yeah.
Wolverine,
Yeah.
the new Wolverine. Which
New Wolverine?
I want to see how it
I'm
turns
excited
out.
about that too.
I want
Well-
to say excited. I want to say
Pacific Rim.
Hope-
We talked about
Pacific
that.
Rim
Pacific
is going to be
Rim.
dope.
Can't wait for that.
Another movie, and Duke and I were talking about this and actually chastising freaking B-Walk for never seeing these movies.
I am so proud that I know what these movies are really about. I
Absolutely,
love
and
these
because they're
movies.
amazing. I don't know if there are a lot of you out there that have ever seen the Chronicles of Riddick movies. Now, people go, what do you mean, Chronicles of Riddick movies? Well, there wasn't just Chronicles of Riddick.
Right.
Before that was Pitch Black.
Pitch Black, and that movie came out of nowhere. It was this indie sci-fi flick that was
Yep.
just cool because Riddick was just
Awesome.
He's like an evil Han Solo. I mean, I don't even know how else to put it. He's just he's awesome.
It's played by Vin Diesel. It was one of Vin Diesel's first major film roles. Pitch Black was successful solely on the fact that he was in it and the
Yeah.
character he played, and they thought we're going to build a universe around him, and that's
And they
exactly what they
did.
did.
Yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick was an amazing film in my opinion. I just thought it was well done, but everybody's like, "Oh, it's trying to be Star Wars with Vin Diesel." No, it wasn't anything mixed. But I'll tell you this. I got the feeling of like a Star Trek and Star Wars genre meshed together,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was super badass. Because I'll tell you this right now, Vin Diesel kicked Kirk's ass.
Oh,
Riddick
dude.
would whoop some serious Captain Kirk ass.
Oh, absolutely. But what was great was that Chronicles of Riddick kept the character exactly who he was supposed to be.
Yep.
He is uncompromising. He is mean,
Yep.
and if you're in his way, he's going to kill you.
Yep.
Okay, that's who Riddick is. However, the story went in 180 degree, away from where Pitch Black went.
Oh yeah.
And it just expanded the universe, expanded this world, and you really wanted to know more about who Riddick is and the race that he comes from. The Furians just. I hope they expand.
Well, here's the thing. Here's why
the
I
story
think
of them.
that it gets the rep that it does.
Because Vin Diesel's in it.
Not just that. No, I think it's because what happened was everybody went and saw Pitch Black.
Right.
And then they went and saw Chronicles of Riddick and was like, this is nothing like Pitch Black. I don't like it. Where's the giant aliens jumping out of nowhere in the Pitch Black? It's a
Yeah.
completely different movie with a character who happens to be the same.
Well, and the thing is that Pitch Black was more of the alien
Yeah.
vein.
Yeah.
But even then, you really felt like there was this universe that was being explored,
Yeah.
and that whole universe is completely opened up in Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah. And the new one's coming out in September. It's called Riddick.
Yes.
And Katie Sackhoff is in it.
Yes. Who we hope she comes to Albuquerque.
Well,
Comic
she's
Expo.
she's in New Mexico right now.
She is?
She's in Santa Fe filming Longmire. I am going to keep Twitter stalking her
Absolutely.
until she does an interview with us, please. Pretty please.
Pretty please.
Oh
Kate.
god, that'd be amazing.
We know you're in New Mexico.
I'll watch all of Battlestar Galactica right now if she does that. But she's awesome, and I would love to talk to her about Riddick and
She
learn
just
some more
email
about
bomb her people.
it. I don't want him to hate us. Send them viruses. See what happens.
I didn't mean it in a bad
No, I know.
way.
I know. But honestly, I think it would be dope to have her on the show. But it would just be dope.
Agreed.
It'd be like, hey, could you tell us about Riddick? We'd like to hear a little bit. But Riddick is one that I'm really looking forward to. It comes out in September. And here's a little bit of homework for you, kiddies. If you haven't seen Pitch Black, watch it. It's well worth it. I do believe it is on Netflix. Chronicles of Riddick isn't, but you can find it anywhere. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not extremely expensive to buy or rent. Redbox it, get it Netflix DVD or stream it. You can stream it through a few different sites.
Yes.
Get it on iTunes if you have to, but it's worth it. It's worth.
I actually
B-Walk.
I
We need
think
to be setting
Chronicles
that up
of
to where we can
Riddick
watch
is on Amazon Prime if you have Amazon Prime.
it. Okay, dude, B-Walk. What are you doing after work tomorrow?
I'm writing a paper.
What on a Saturday
Like,
night,
you-
bro?
You just
Yes,
got
because it was
shot
due on
down.
Tuesday.
Whatever, dude.
Yes, because it was
Whatever,
due on
dude.
Tuesday, and when I
Apparently, college is more important than Riddick.
It is when you have a really hot teacher that looks really disappointed in you when you don't turn things in, and it makes you feel like an asshole. 'Cause that's what
Oh yeah,
happens
that's
to me.
way more fun.
Really, that's what propels your academic endeavors.
Yes, when she's like, "Do you have that paper?" and I'm like, "No," and she's like, and I'm like, "Ah." That's hurt me.
You're like, oh,
her
man.
sigh. Her sigh is like a.
I love
dagger.
disappointing women. I don't get what you're saying.
So how do you organize when you're setting up your classes for the semester?
Let me put it
do you
to you this way.
seriously go by who the hottest teachers are?
All I'm saying is most teachers are always like, "Oh, and you could take and we take 5 points off every day it's late," and I'm like, "Then I'm probably gonna get 10 points taken off." That's all I'm saying. That's every class. That's across the board.
But she bats her eyes and says, "Oh, Brian, I'm so disappointed in you." And
And
so
then
you decide you're going to do it over the weekend and make sure she gets it by what, Tuesday?
I don't know.
I'm emailing a copy of this show to your teacher.
I will.
Next time he says he doesn't have the paper, be like, right on.
But speaking of good sci-fi, I was watching the trailer for Riddick, and a picture of the international trailer for Star Trek Into Darkness came up. Have you seen that?
I have. I loved it. It still doesn't tell us who the hell this dude is playing.
Who Benedict?
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
But the way it's all pointing,
I'm a little bummed it's not
he
Khan.
doesn't. Yeah, I don't think he's Khan.
He isn't Khan. He's not.
But
We don't know
But some
that.
of what he's doing is very Khan-esque, and especially if you see
Yes.
this trailer, he's like, "I'm better than you," and Kirk says, "At what?" And he says, "At everything." And I wonder what that entails. Does that mean everything?
Well, he supposedly, yeah. Well, who knows?
I bang more green chicks than you ever had.
Oh, that would be fighting words with Kirk.
I don't know. All I know is, regardless, it's going to be a great movie. It's it's J.J. Abrams' swan song to the Star Trek fans, and they should appreciate him because we get him now.
Star Wars fans, yes we do, yes we do.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
But believe me, it's either going to be what is his name, Robert Orkey or Kurtzman.
I don't know.
The guys that have been helping. It's still going to be a bad robot movie,
Yeah.
whatever Star Trek 3
Yeah,
is.
it's just Star Wars will be better. But anyways,
It usually
I
is.
am looking forward to
As it
Star
always
Trek.
is.
I really am, because the last one I was a big fan of. I think he did a wonderful job of being able to twist the Star Trek universe around, but keep it in with the Star Trek theme. You know, the one thing that I don't know if a lot of people caught on, but a very common thing throughout Star Trek and all the different Star Trek franchises was time travel.
Yes.
Constantly. I mean, my favorite, the Voyage Home, the Star Trek, the original Star
yeah.
Trek, that's my favorite of all of them.
They go back to 1984.
1984, and they're in 1984 San Francisco, which was a place that I went to all the time in the 80s. So it was really cool, and that was my favorite. Well, this one, time travel once again plays into the fact that it just kind of flipped all these characters' lives around and did things a little bit different. And it all started with kind of Spock and his craziness by being, dude, and it was so genius to bring him back into the movie.
Oh,
But
it was.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Leonard Nimoy fits into the new one.
I don't
'cause
know
they
that he
haven't
will.
He is.
Oh, he's
Yes.
going to be in it.
Yes.
I didn't
that was
know
something they talked about when it first went down, that they were trying to get him signed on again. So I like
Interesting.
that they've made him a part of it. It probably won't be anything big. I'm imagining it's going to be a smaller scene. But I think it was a great idea.
Well, hey, here's an idea, because you notice that there's like a huge massacre of Federation people in the international trailer.
Right.
You know, something goes down. I mean, Peter Weller of all people is a
Weller,
RoboCop, man.
yes.
RoboCop is a Federation leader,
RoboCop.
and it looks like a bunch of people get wiped out. Will
Yeah.
Spock get wiped out?
Who knows?
The
it could
original
happen.
Spock.
Yeah, it could happen because he's got to at some point. I don't know.
That's true.
Even though Vulcans live forever as it is, so Well, oh no, never mind. His mom was human when she fell off that bottomless pit. That's a reference to the first Star Trek in this franchise. Just thought you people should know. But anyways, enough about Star Trek, because now I'm going to have to watch Next Generation
Winona Ryder
later.
stole that role, man.
She steals everything. Did you see that shoplifting video? Bitch is a
I'm
klepto.
glad you picked up on that. That's where I was going.
Oh,
with that.
okay. Like, yeah.
She's the dude. I'm pretty sure she was that dude in that.
They call
Skittles
her.
commercial.
They call her
Straight
Sticky
up.
Fingers in the hood, and not in the good way. Anyway,
Well, why don't we
yeah.
jump from one sci-fi show to another? And it's actually really somber news.
I can't believe this.
I was
What?
blindsided. by
When
this.
I heard it, I thought it was a joke.
I didn't even know. You're probably not going to be as
You probably don't care.
well, what are you talking about?
Doctor Who.
Yeah, you're right.
Matt Smith,
Matt Smith, who
Matt
was the
Smith.
11th Doctor.
Uh-huh.
fan favorite, man.
A
He's
fan
leaving-
favorite.
He's leaving the show.
Yeah.
As of 2014, pretty much the he's doing the 50th anniversary episode and he's doing the Christmas episode, and that's probably about it.
And then he's out. And so we will have the 13th Doctor, which
It's the hard knock life, man.
yeah. 13th Doctor will be LaToya Jackson.
Whoa. That's just weird.
That's exactly my point.
Now I might watch Doctor Who. Is she gonna go back in time and frickin' make sure nobody else in her family's born?
I just don't know where they're gonna go from here. I mean,
yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Seriously Black, who requested that we talk about this major issue tonight.
yes,
Shout out,
yes.
she's a major.
All right, serious. I guess I'll give you props on that. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but yeah, I
she
understand a
has-
lot of you
She's
are.
down.
She has what a Harry Potter podcast, right?
Does she?
Well, no, I mean, Seriously Black. That's a Harry Potter reference.
No, definitely not.
Yes, it is.
Oh well, yeah, it is, but
I'm
definitely
just-
not.
I just thought I should point that out.
I don't think we really have much more movie news. Iron Man 3 news. Do we have some Iron Man 3 news?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to point out if anybody pays attention to our, because I know you guys pay attention to our Facebook page, but I posted on there a picture that was a side by side comparison. Did you see that? I pay attention to the oddities of international marketing, and there's a poster up there that is the Mandarin poster from the U.S. And then there's the Mandarin poster from Russia. And for some reason, it's the exact same image. It's just photoshopped. And the Mandarin is wrapped in bullets and has all kinds of guns and stuff around him and has a gun in his hand. Yet in the American version, there's none of that. There's no guns.
It's a little weird.
It's a little odd, but it makes me wonder if maybe the Russian
Russia's
audience...
crazy?
Well, there is that. Or maybe the Russian audience will perceive the villain to be more villainous or more, tough because he has guns, and maybe gun culture in Russia is more prevalent. I don't know.
I would definitely be a little bit more scared of the dude if he had all those guns and all ammo. you know?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
All right.
But more than that, there are some major spoilers that came out about Iron Man 3.
Should we be giving them out, or should we be like, spoiler
I
alert?
I think we should because to me it sets up the story more.
Okay.
And also I think it makes it very, very exciting. But yeah,
Set it
definitely a
off.
spoiler alert. If you don't want to know anything about the possibilities of Iron Man 3, you might want to skip ahead about 30, 45 seconds. Something that
I like that.
I don't 5 minutes.
Check in with us in a moment.
In an interview with Kevin Feige, I can never get his name right, who is the guy who is over all of the Marvel films for
The guy we should
for
really
Disney
be
and Marvel.
thanking. I mean,
Oh,
he
yeah.
is the genius behind.
He is the genius behind the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
You
yes.
I mean, yes, Joss Whedon's a genius, but you can really thank Kevin Feige for getting us there.
Well, yeah, and the fact that there's all the continuity between the films and that it is
He
a
oversees
larger
them all.
universe.
And,
Yeah.
and he makes sure that they're all cohesive,
Right.
and flow together, and just work. And
Well, in an interview with him and an interview with Gwyneth Paltrow, two major things were revealed. We've been wondering who Guy Pearce is going to play in the film, and it turns out that he is the head of AIM.
Advanced Ideas and Mechanics.
Now, if you're not
I thought you were
fami-
talking about AOL Instant Messenger. I was like, what a pussy.
Well, here's the thing. AIM in Marvel comic books, especially in the regular Marvel universe, it's the guys in the yellow suits.
Okay.
Those are the AIM guys.
The guys who look like beekeepers, evil beekeepers.
They
Wow,
do.
okay.
They look like Doc Brown or Marty McFly as Darth Vader in Back to the Future. They're in those yellow suits. And
They hang out with giant-headed dudes, little arms. I hope we'll see that in Iron Man. I'd be stoked if we saw MODOK in Iron Man 3.
that would be crazy.
That would be the best movie ever for that reason.
Well, they're definitely opening this film up because a lot of fan favorite things are happening. You're going to see Iron Patriot or a version of the Iron Patriot. One of the spoilers that we found out was that the Iron Patriot basically is going to be the American superhero, as opposed to the Avengers, which are for everybody, or Iron Man, which is a superhero for himself. The American version is Iron Patriot, and Rhodey essentially works for the president. So it's cool that we've got AIM in there, and it's cool that we've got the Iron Patriot in there. But one thing that Gwyneth Paltrow revealed in an interview was that Pepper Potts will most definitely be in the Iron Man suit.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty crazy.
I'm freaking stoked.
All right, so it's time where we're going to start answering some questions that we get from some of our listeners.
Oh yeah.
We got a question from, I believe it was Sean on our Facebook page.
Yes.
Let me know what he said. What's he asking?
The question is, what was the first comic that had a major impact on you? That one issue that made you take a step back and realize how amazing comics are? I like that question. That's a great question.
Yeah.
So what about you, Doughboy?
Honestly, the Death of Superman number 75.
Wow.
Because that was, I was 14, and that's when it was all serious.
Oh yeah.
Like shit got real.
Oh dude.
And I was like, oh,
he was
man.
beaten to death.
Yeah, and it was such an epic story leading up to it all going down that I was just like, oh my gosh, that was a masterpiece. And that's when I really got into everything. I mean, that's when I would say that's around the time where I read Watchmen the first time.
Oh, nice.
A few years after that, about 4 or 5 years after that, is when I read Preacher.
Yeah.
And from there, I just started to really appreciate the story more than just the superheroes.
Right.
And so, I would definitely say Superman 75.
Yeah, well, and I agree with you because people give me a hard time when I say, dude, Jerry Ordway, one of the best comic book artists of all time. Of all time. Yet, have you read Superman 75? Because that panel where you flip open and Lois Lane is holding him, and then you totally get it in a cinematic way. She's holding Superman. It flips over and he falls back dead. Oh my gosh, it's so powerful.
That's the great thing is that you say it wasn't even a panel. When you get to the 75th issue of Superman,
it's
every page is a splash page.
Every page is a splash page. That's right.
Yeah, the way that book is set up is just, God, it's brilliant.
It's unbelievably
It's
good.
excellent. Doomsday is excellent. The only thing that wasn't excellent is when they brought him back.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean you didn't like the Metropolis Kid? I saw you wearing a Metropolis Kid T-shirt the other day.
Yeah, no.
I saw you wearing the crappy jacket.
Yeah, the crisscross 90s leather jacket.
And then you told me, "Don't call me Superboy," and you skipped away.
See, I liked Cyborg Superman, and I even liked Eradicator, and I always wish that they could have gotten the Eradicator character right. I mean, he was awesome. He was in that black and blue Superman suit, and then he had those stupid, lame yellow glasses.
The old people glasses.
Wow. Look, my thing is with that that was just a whole few years where I was really collecting at a rabid pace. I was buying everything I could, reading everything I could, and there was a lot of cool stuff. Marvel had the little brief thing with the new Fantastic Four, which is one of my all-time favorite covers ever.
Oh, right.
Yeah, got one signed by Art Adams. Not a big deal or anything.
Yeah.
Totally big deal.
Cool guy, by the way.
Totally
Actually,
hate you.
the man.
I remember when you sent me that text, I'll check it out. Look what I got.
I do that to people randomly. I'll be like, oh, I got a Madman #1 signed. Not a big deal or anything.
Now, what about you, sir? What is that one issue that just blew your mind and you're like, this is comics?
It's a single issue?
Yes.
A single issue, or I mean, I can tell you right now, mine is going to be a trade paperback because it's how I absorbed the story.
If it were a series, I'd want to say Preacher, but I mean, I agree. It's a one-issue thing. I've said it before, and if I was left on a desert island with one single issue of a comic book to read, it's an issue of Sensational Spider-Man, issue 40, and it's a really great. It's part of the Back in Black line, if you remember when they did that. And it was right after the Civil War stuff. Peter Parker's identity was out, and he was against registration. So basically, he had a giant target painted on him. And this led to Aunt May getting shot and basically no one being able to save her. So Peter Parker's back in the black suit, not the symbiote, but the black costume, and he is just out for blood. And basically, this issue, it's not the Amazing series, so it was one of the side stories, basically. But it's him kind of going out, lashing out, being just angry at the world that his aunt's about to die, and God shows up.
Oh, wow.
And Peter Parker and God, for one issue, sit down and talk. And it's all drawn by Clayton Crane, who is one of the best artists to ever draw anything, I swear. Like he's one of those artists that you open up a book and you think, how is that even possible within the confines of these panels? Like he drew what has he done lately? He did Carnage USA as well as Carnage Family Reunion. He did a lot of cool symbiote stuff, which I dig.
Oh, wow.
One of his first big books a lot of people know him for was Carnage Venom that he did with Peter Milligan, where they introduced Toxin. Anyway, the guy's art is astounding is the point.
So number 40, Spectacular Spider-Man number 40.
Sensational Spider-Man.
Sensational Spider-Man number 40.
And yeah, it is an issue that gets better every time I read it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good call. I like it. Duke, what do you got?
Well, you kind of stole mine because it's Superman 75 is one of my all-timers.
Yeah.
And there's actually a bunch of them, but I remember that the first book that I read that I stood back and went, I did not just read that the way it happened. You know, and that for me was a major moment because I grew up with DC Comics. I grew up with the spandex superheroes and Batman, Superman, Justice League, all those things back in the late 80s, all through the 90s were my thing, you know?
Yeah.
I loved that. And then I got into other things, and I remember the first time I read Powers by Brian Michael Bendis from Image. Dude, Powers changed the way I saw comics. And
I love Powers.
It was issue number 6 at the end of this story arc. Of the Who Killed Retro Girl story arc, Powers number 6, where his partner, what's her name? The girl partner in Powers, I'm completely forgetting.
And I am too. Which is
she grabs a suspect by the arm who has the power to teleport. She grabs him by the arm and he teleports, but because he's grabbing her or because she's grabbing him, she holds onto his arm, and as he teleports without his arm.
Oh.
Dude, it's amazing. And I just remember that moment in that book blew me away because because here is a cop trying to restrain a perp from getting away, and he teleports away, and she inadvertently pulls his arm off.
Oh.
And I loved that. I just loved how that blew my mind. I didn't see that the story was going that way, and I love those moments. I love when you can shock me because I thought that you were going a certain direction. Those moments, those little moments. And what I always loved about Powers was that it was kind of this messed up superhero world, yet it was drawn like the Batman animated series.
Yes.
That's what I loved about
Mike
it.
Oeming's art, and that's where that book got a lot of steam. Is it was so reminiscent of the Bruce Timm animated style, kind of the Darwin Cook thing.
Oh, yeah.
God, and I love those kind of almost Jim Steranko-esque animated.
Good call, yeah.
90s. It all kind of, I think, between Steranko and Bruce Timm, they really defined that style, and people
Definitely.
like Oeming and Darwin Cook added to it. But God, Powers is one of those reads. It's one of those reads that's unlike any other book you've read. It and it's at its core is a superhero book that is wrapped in a noir story.
Yeah, very very much so. Or as I described it to somebody, it's like Law and Order superhero world.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, because you're following cops in this superhero world where the focus isn't on the superheroes, although it is all about superheroes. It's about real people and these police officers who interact with that world, and it gets dark and it gets really weird.
And it's awesome.
It's really awesome.
Wow.
Love Powers.
Powers. All right. Never read it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, you will.
I
But
mean,
we
yeah,
talk,
you will.
we talk a lot about Brian Michael Bendis, and that's
He is one of my all-time favorite
That's
writers.
his
He's the
beginnings,
writer that
man.
got me into comics.
He's definitely my favorite writer.
oh yeah.
He's my all-time favorite, honestly, man.
Yeah. But Brian K. Vaughan is creeping up
Brian
that list.
K. Vaughan is a friggin' genius, dude.
He's creeping up that list for me, definitely. Well, another listener question answered. I'm kind of stoked on that.
That was a good question. I
Yeah,
love
we
that
did have
question.
some good questions. Keep getting those into us on our Facebook.
Absolutely.
Nerds with Issues, or you can drop us lines on SoundCloud. You can get at us on Twitter at Nerds with Issues.
Yes.
And you can come and hang out with us this week.
Yes, you can.
Tuesday
Come get some awesome
night.
comic books with us.
That's
Dude,
right.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Number one.
And that night at midnight, also pick up Age of Ultron number 3.
That's right. That's right.
There's some pretty good books. Well, there's not a lot. There's a few coming out.
Yeah, there's some decent ones.
But
this
definitely
next week.
I'd say Guardians of the Galaxy and Age of Ultron 3 are the ones I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, just continuing on a great story with Age of Ultron, and I already saw one of the.
And we haven't talked about that book much.
I think we have.
I feel like
I just
we've given
don't
it some
think we've
pretty
talked about it tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
Age of Ultron. I saw one of the solicitations, one of the preview images, and I was blown away. I'm like, I can't wait to read that.
It's the next big event for Marvel right now. It's
Oh, yeah.
only 10 issues. It's
Yes.
a 10-issue story, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to just seeing where it goes because the first two have been awesome.
Great
and the
stuff.
first one was a sick cover. I loved it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, cool. Tuesday night, hang out with us, Kaboom West. The times again, Duke, and what's going on? What tournaments are we doing?
Absolutely. The thing is, Kaboom Test Labs will be open at 10 a.m. The store opens regular time, Tuesday, March 26th, and it will be open all the way until 1 a.m.
What?
Yes.
Too hard.
Wednesday, March 27th.
Nice.
So Kaboom will be open all that time. They're going to be having a Guardians of the Galaxy Hero Clicks tournament starting at 6 p.m. They will also be having a very special modern format Magic the Gathering tournament. Both of those start at 6. Store will be open. You want to do some late night shopping. You want to hang out. You're thinking, hey, there's nothing to do on a Tuesday night at 11 o'clock at night. Guess what? Kaboom Test Labs is still going to be open.
Absolutely. Come on in and hang out with us. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. Lots of stuff to do. And
March 26th.
getting one of the premier new books coming out.
Absolutely.
So Tuesday night.
And we're giving away stuff. We're giving away comics. We're giving away action figures. You want some free stuff, yo? We got it.
It's not going to get any better than that.
Nope, but we have to remind everybody. I think we have to remind them that Ace is coming up. Albuquerque
shit.
Comic Expo.
That's right. Almost forgot.
Can't forget about Ace.
Ace
because
is doing the...
You want to talk about NWI recording live
Yes.
in a panel room at Albuquerque Comic Expo? I can't
Panel
wait.
room that's
It's
going to
gonna
be
be
packed
awesome.
out, no less.
Come on, boys and
We're going to have a
girls.
lot of fun with that. You can buy your tickets for Ace now.
We gotta make that panel a party.
it's happening.
I'm actually issuing a challenge for our
Ooh.
panel. I want to see somebody cosplay as Sailor Moon sitting in our panel.
Hey,
Let's, dude. Sailor Moon's. I feel like Sailor Moon's been everywhere this week. I don't know, but I freaking love Sailor Moon.
I feel like you just want to stare at a hot chick while we're
I
doing
saw
the
a
That's
show.
not a bad thing at all.
I saw a Sailor Moon sticker on a car this week. I saw a Sailor Moon belt this week.
They're remaking the series, dude, and it better be awesome or I'm gonna be pissed.
Wow.
But yeah,
But at Ace, I think there's going to be a lot of cool things for us to do. There's going to be a lot of cool guests so far, and they're not done. They're announcing people every day. Check them out. Just, gosh, I forgot the website already, but just Google Albuquerque Comic
Albuquerque
Expo.
Comic Expo. Yeah.
You'll find out anything you need. You can follow them, ABQ Comic Expo on Twitter.
Right.
Check them out on Facebook. Everything they update you daily as to the new artists that they've got. And what are we? 3-4 months away now? 4 months?
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, June.
Jeez. Oh,
Yeah.
it's coming around. We got a lot
This
to
is
do.
going to be a big summer. I'm really excited.
We are. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a lot of fun for us, and we want you guys to come out and join us. But go to their site, check it out, see the guests they've got already. I don't know. There's too many
Albuquerque
to go
Comic
through.
Expo.
It's going to be another fun year.
And I wanted to say one last thing. B-Walk and I just shared something with Doughboy this evening that we want to tell everybody. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. It is a short fan film created by fans. It just so happens that the fan that created this was the star of the original Punisher movie,
Mr. Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane.
Yep.
He financed this little film.
a little 10-minute short.
10-minute film. He got his friend Ron Perlman. You might know him. He played Hellboy. Okay.
Yep.
He got him in the film. It's this little 10-minute film about none other than the Punisher. If as soon as you get done listening to this podcast, go over to YouTube, search Dirty Laundry. That is the name of it. Punisher Dirty Laundry. It is 10 minutes. It is the most intense, the best Punisher film ever made, and it's only 10 minutes long.
I'd go as far as to say it's the best Punisher movie that ever will be made.
Wow.
Well, look, we can hope and
Ever.
pray now that. Well, I don't know if this will ever happen. Now that the film rights are back with Marvel, yeah, Marvel's owned by Disney, but it is possible that we could get a decent Punisher movie made. Maybe not. I don't know. It would have to be rated R. It goes back to what we were talking about, Deadpool. But this is intense. It is definitely for adults. So if little Johnny or whoever is sitting beside you, you're gonna wait till you want to see this because it is
Yeah.
definitely
It's hard freaking core.
It is hardcore, but it reminds me of Punisher comics from the early
Yes.
80s. It is tough. It is gritty. It is mean. It's awesome.
It just reminds me of the truest adaptation of Frank Castle that I've ever seen.
That is exactly right.
I see that. And I'm
I
like,
agree.
That's Frank
It is the
Castle.
most true adaptation of the Punisher to film that I've ever seen.
I dug it. I thought it was cool. Check it out. Where
Punisher, Dirty
YouTube,
Laundry.
right?
Yeah, YouTube. It's just on YouTube.
Punisher, Dirty Laundry. It's 10 minutes. It's well worth it. It's great. disturbing as all hell, but it's great.
And it makes a bottle of Jack Daniels akin to Thor's hammer, and I'm just going to say that. It's awesome.
All right. That works. On that note, Nerds with Issues is out of here. It's
Absolutely.
been another good week. We'll have some more stuff going on, but like I said, once again, Tuesday night, come join us, Kaboom Test Labs West. We'll be hanging out and get your new
recording
releases.
live.
Yes. And we want you to hang with us. Plus, we're giving out free stuff. Nobody wants to pass up free stuff. So come hang out with us. Other than that, fellas, anything else? We good?
Tuesday, March 26th, Kaboom Test Labs. Come hang out with us.
Going down.
All right. Issue 11. I'm good with it. We're done. We're out. Everybody have a good day, night, evening, middle of the day, 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
Hungover and just listening to our podcast.
We
Everybody have a
love
good
you
one.
guys.
Peace out.
Adios.